Hey guys, happy hump day. It is Meg Rogers here coming at you live. So if you're new to following me, welcome. If you're tuning back in, thank you so much for joining me again. For those that are always like I said yesterday, you're like, what does she even do? Like, I am a coach specialized in health coaching of the mind and the body, because if the mind isn't getting fixed, it doesn't matter what you do to the body, it'll not be a lasting change for life. And I want people to have sustainable change forever. So do you find yourself talking about like these big plans that you have for your life when the moment comes and you're just like, yeah, nope, I don't know, or I don't know about you, but like I lived a life of always getting back on the wagon, talking to friends like, yeah, I was eating great on Friday, and then I was eating great all week, and then Friday night date came, and then I was just like, you know what, it's the weekend too, and I'm just like, whatever, I'll get back on track on Monday. And then Monday was insane because, hello, Monday, Mondays are nuts always, I think, for everybody, but before I know it, it's Friday again, and I still didn't get back on track. Can you relate to this? Like, is this something that you struggle with too? Like, if you're catching my replay, drop #replay below. If you're watching this live, say hi or hit the heart or your favorite icon or emoji to just let me know that you're here. So, we're taught to get back on track, but what we're not taught is how to not fall off track. So I could make promises to my husband, my kids, friends, people I didn't even know very well, and I would always keep my promises because I was raised like your word is your promise or your butt was going to be on fire later. So I realized how hard I was fighting to keep those promises to others. And what do you do when you're putting everybody else first, but you have no more time left? Like, what do? Like, you put yourself on the back burner. You start sacrificing anything to do with you for everybody else, even if it's a complete stranger. So then what starts, you start the whole, well, I will start tomorrow, which then turns into, I will start Monday. Oh, wait, there's a holiday next week, so I'll wait until after the holiday. My kids are sick. You're like, oh gosh, I can't do it now, so I'll wait until they're better because they're so whiny and I can't start now, and mama needs to eat her emotions because this is really tough. And, you can't do that, when trying to be healthy. So, if we truly wanted these commitments, we would do it. We would seek out the help that would help us to ensure success. So do y'all ever question like the messed up logic that's happening up here? Because it blows me away at how sad it is. Like, I never questioned it at all. I was just like, okay, that's the truth. And how much I hear this stuff from others, and I'm just like, wow, stop living my mistakes. So let's say y'all have this friend, Susan. She is the sweetest, loving person ever, but she's a total flake. Like, she always shows up an hour late. Sometimes she doesn't even show up. She's always giving you these really lame excuses of, I wasn't really feeling motivated today to leave the house, but I really wanted to see you, just not enough to get up and do it. But, what if, and I'm pretty sure that God's going to strike me down for this, because this is actually a real life scenario that I am watching play out for the last year on, my personal page, and I'm not going to name any names here, but what if you had this friend who's constantly starting some new diet every single month? She did low fat, low carb, fat burners, calorie counting, Whole30 keto, but you come in one day and, she comes over, or maybe you're at work and she's like eating cake like it's nothing. Like, what if you said something like, hey, Susan, I thought you were abstaining from sugar, or I thought you were doing keto, but her and her family, they just went on vacation. Who even takes care of themselves on vacation? It's vacation, So, and it was Timmy's birthday, and how could she resist a cake on Timmy's birthday? So what's the point of doing it, right? So she gained everything back, plus, she added some. Would you respect her? The girl who blows you off for silly reasons. The girl who starts and stops over everything. Would you trust them when they commit to something? Would you trust them when they committed to you? Like, no, you're not. You're not going to trust them. You're not going to believe anything that they say. So why are you doing this to you? Your subconscious knows that you've broken the promises you've made to yourself and how many times you've bailed, on yourself. So it just starts to protect you by sabotaging everything. So how many times have you bailed on your goals to watch TV, to read a book, to scroll Facebook? How many times have you given up before you even started? Like, how many times have your kids watched you quit? Because I can say, for me, it was a lot. It was years of my life. My kids watched me quit over and over and over to say I was going to do this and this and this and quit every single time. That's what my kids were witnessing. So when we want to avoid the answer, society has the answer. You know, we can always find people who are doing just enough, just going through the motions of life, not doing anything extra, and we can bond with, you know. So if you need a distraction, turn on your TV, start binge watching the full DVR, or heck, you know, find a new series to watch on Hulu or Netflix, you know, hop on social media. Next thing you know, there goes a few hours. So you just were able to numb yourself for a little bit. So when you really want something, you will move mountains, or you'll create an excuse. Oh, I'm too busy. Yeah, I can't afford that. Like, your subconscious isn't going to know the difference between what you truly want and what you pretend to want. So, because it just sees you folding at the first sign of hard each time. So now, every time you start, it's like, oh, we must protect her. And it comes at you really, really hard, which is why it feels, the more that you try, the harder it seems to feel like. And I don't know about you, but I felt like every time I would try to restart things, it felt even harder and harder. And it was just because my mind was trying to protect me, because it's like, well, she hasn't been able to do it before. She doesn't want to do it this time. She's just kind of trying to go through the motions. So let's make her quit. So until you fight and fight hard through that instinct to quit, your standard of living is going to stay the same. It'll rise for a minute because you will start to, you know, here's your life right now, and it'll start to rise a little bit because you're fighting hard because you want to change. You want change. You know you're capable of change. But then when it drops when you quit. So our words, yes, our words have power. What we say to ourselves has power. But it's not the words that are going to change our life. It's the action that we're going to take. It's like, you know, the biggest saying is knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, but what's powerful, what truly is life-changing, is applied knowledge. Taking action, you know. So when you blow off the commitment that you made to you, you know, is it a big deal? Yes, it's a huge, huge deal. So where do you start? Like, make a list of priorities in your life. In mine, it's God, health, and then family, in that order, because if we don't have our health, how can we show up for our family? And I learned that one the hard way. So be careful of your commitments, and you might have to stand down from things. You might have to take a job elsewhere. You might have to learn to say no. And if you say yes to things, ask yourself before saying yes, okay, what can I realistically take off my plate to accommodate this thing that I'm taking on? If you can't remove something, then the answer is no. And not a no, but it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this at this time, aka no. So what are you neglecting and blowing off? Track it. Your actions and inactions are training you how to act. So when you make the connection to you being, you know, worth your commitments, you know, it's just hard not to do what you know that you can. So sister, what commitments to yourself, big or small, do you want to work at honoring for the next 7 days? And yes, start today, because today right now is a fresh start, and you get to feel excited that you're not doing this cliche Monday restart like you've probably been doing, like I was doing for years. As also, you know, if you're stuck and you're ready to make that change, message me, because I always have time for those who are serious about change. But all right, guys, get out there and make this an awesome day.